Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on into our discussion on the meta. I don't have a whole lot of notes here. I mentioned that I've got the highest that I've gotten in a very, very long time on the ladder. Got to 98. I think if I could have pushed, I would have got infinite. I just didn't have the motivation to be like, okay, I can do this in a day. I've got another 6 hours.
Spending time with your family, watching Stranger Things.
Right. I got all the way up to 98, and that was all because Fastball Special and Adamantium Infusion. I mean, that combo took me to newer heights. I did have it done to me a couple times, but even if you got Luke Cage out there, you're still getting a 40 power on your side. You may destroy one of your cars, but now you're getting it back at 40 power. It was definitely destroy heavy this season, and I did not like to do it, but as soon as I started doing it, I fell into the routine of playing a destroy deck quite a bit. So I did also have a decent deck that I had decided was going to fight the algorithm, because you knew that if I didn't have armor in there, if I didn't have Luke Cage, if I didn't have Shadow King, I was going to be facing a destroyed deck and get my butt handed to me. I had to make sure that I had that in there. I was doing pretty decent with that deck because everybody was they were playing something. If you look at a lot of these cards, most of them are about increasing the power of your other cards. So a lot of these people were doing the exact same thing. They were going in there, and it was a Venom destroy deck, and they were going to send Venom to do whatever and hit me with Marrow. And I would lay out Luke Cage and then lay out Shadow King and turn their Venom back into a 3-power Venom, and it would be hilarious. So that was kind of...
if you play Marrow against that deck, it feels like a real boner.
Oh, look out, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your waitresses. So, anyway, that's kind of all I had about the meta. The Team Clash was definitely fun. I wasn't playing... I wasn't playing Grand Arena.
I enjoyed Grand Arena. They didn't let you experiment. I think you could only use the pre-made decks, but it was still pretty fun.
So, anyway, I played a little bit of that, but I didn't, focus on that. I was more into Team Clash, which I thought was fun.
I enjoyed that.
It's a new way to play. You had a lot more bonuses. Your spider characters could move and get plus such. Felt like I was either doing really, really well, or maybe I was just playing a bunch of bots. I have no idea, but I felt like I was excelling. Anyway.
Yeah, I kept my stats from that one. 43 games I used the X-Men and Spider Folks deck. 32 I used Guardians, and 26 I used Thunderbolts. Mainly it was just about whatever I was getting bonuses for. I initially thought you had to pick one and stick with it the whole time, and I went with Thunderbolts just because I liked that idea. I don't know why. I just liked it.
Yeah.
X-Men. What did the X-Men one do? Oh, I think you got bonuses for however many X-Men you had. So I used that one a lot. And then Spider-Man, I liked the move stuff. So it was pretty fun.
I think it was done well. And it did feel like, man, I really want to get Wild Child or whatever I was shooting for here. I think it was Wild Child. And, just so long as you could watch what your bonuses were, it wasn't too hard to get there.
And since you could mix up the teams and everything, it didn't feel like as much of a grind because you were doing something that you couldn't do in regular modes, and you could mix it up. I mean, if you wanted to get that extra XP, but it wasn't like just one team would give you that each time. I thought it was pretty fun. I look forward to him doing it again. I almost wish that there was a way you could get that into the regular game, like you get a bonus if you have a thematically unified deck, but I think they're doing more with that. Weapon X and a lot of the Spider folks already mesh thematically. I thought it was a fun mode. I hope they bring it back.
Same here. All right, what other thoughts you got on the meta?
That was pretty much it. I saw a lot of Destroy. I think I got to 90, but I didn't feel like I could get anything going really well. Even my go-to combo, I changed it from Power Broker to Power Ballad so that I could use the "And Now I Will Sing for You" title. That one usually gets me into the upper 80s or 90s, and then I use my Tom Gordon deck to close it out. Didn't get any traction with either of those, but eventually I got up to the 90s, so I got my 500 gold.
I was paying attention to the bounties, and I noticed you definitely look like you kind of slacked off there one week. I was like, usually he's up there in the top in the top 3 somewhere.
I'll tell you what probably happened is I forgot the bounties reset, because sometimes I don't even start collecting bounties until Thursday or later.
Yeah.
So that's probably what happened. Or it might have been Christmas, Jesse. It's not just about games, Jesse. It's about the people.
It is. It's
that you spend time with and stuff.
Right. Let's get into unlocks here. Like I said, I bought the season pass, and my goodness, when I was rocketing through every card that I got this season, every variant, I did start to notice that $10 season pass gets you some variants. That's for sure. So currently at collector level 22,943, as of January 12th, 2026, 1,100 tokens. I have spent my tokens, and they burn a hole in my pocket. I must have got Prowler at some point last season, or right at the beginning of the season. I didn't have him on my list before. So anyway, open it up with Winter Vacation Magic, and then Prowler, Marvel Legends Jubilee, which is the only Marvel Legends I've got. I didn't realize, it was not completely obvious that was a Marvel Legends figure. I got a Gabriel Dell'Otto Venom, a Dan Hip Destroyer, Invar Studio Cassandra Nova.
I think I got that one. Is that the one where she looks like, I can't remember the woman's name, but that played her in the movie?
Yes, very much so.
I don't want to find Cassandra Nova attractive. And somewhere Emma Corrin is saying, I don't want some middle-aged podcaster to find me attractive.
Yes. Dan Hip Grandmaster.
Oh, that's the Goldblum, right?
It looks like it, yes. And then
Dan Hip variants find a way.
Oh, yes, they do. Adamantium Infusion, Gidame Singelin Rescue, a sticker variant of Black Swan, weapon.
I don't think I've seen that one. Sticker variants are
very.
Yeah, I'm imagining Raven from Teen Titans, or just from Teen Titans.
Right.
Those seem a little more upbeat than what I associate with Black Swan, whose thing was like hanging out as universes died.
Mm-hmm. Right. Weapon X, and then I'm sure this is Rico, but it's R1.
Rico.
Suave.
Magic.
Yes, Rico Magic. That was a cool looking card. A Supja Sabretooth, which reminds me of the X-Men movie, Sabretooth.
Okay.
Chibi Uatu, which I sent to you immediately, and I said, this is perfect. It's the perfect representation of what a Chibi should be. A Supja Omega Red, which I think was in the season pass. A Baby Ironheart. I got Web Sling. Zombie Sentry, which I didn't mention. I did put it together and had a decent run with a zombie deck. I did not expect it.
Yeah.
Zombie Sentry, Pixel Black Panther, Dan Hip Corvus Glaive, and I don't think I've had one, but I finally got me a What If cover for Kraven.
What if Kraven was just like, pants? Who needs them?
I was so excited. The only other one I want, which is a card that I don't have, I've never got High Evolutionary yet. Yeah. I want that What If High Evolutionary variant.
Way to stand on your principles there, Jesse. I felt bad every time I used High Evolutionary.
Asana Takada Mystique, which is, it's her in the Captain Marvel costume.
Oh, that one's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know when that ever happened in the comics, but it's awesome.
Rocky Chem Ultron, which is crazy looking. We got a Marrow, Wild Child, Pixel Miss Marvel, Dan Hip Professor X, and then Aurora and Baby Magneto, which is pretty funny. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Fastball Special, Dan Hip Nick Fury. Another one I forgot to mention, Bastion. I had a great run with Bastion. I've got a deck that I was using before I went to the Fastball Special, but he was essentially, I think I called it Bro Bastion, maybe? I can't remember what I called it. But anyway, it was Cerebro and Bastion and Black Swan. Here was the combo, and I think I sent this to you. My idea was to have Quinjet out there, okay? Mm-hmm. Quinjet is going to reduce the cost of your cards by 1. Bastion brings all these cards back at a 2 cost, 3 power. So you have Quinjet out there, and it reduces all these cards back to 1, so which is usually, 2 or 3 cards essentially, but it reduces these costs to the cost to 1. Well, I was also wanting to have Black Swan out there, activate her, and drop all your 1 cost now down to 0. Does not work. Unfortunately, they come back at 2. But if you got Quinjet out there and you've got a 1-cost Cerebro at 3 power now, and you also have a 1-cost Mystique at 3 power,
I like it.
Cerebro can do some damage. So anyway, Bastion. Then I got a Pixel Collector, Dan Hip Silver Surfer, which is the weird one with the green hand or green power, power cosmic. It looks strange, but I believe that might be one that I actually bought because it was like $700. Then I got a Dan Hip Captain Marvel, a Salvador LaRocco Iron Man, which is really cool. It looks really cool. So. Ended up with Stardust, and I don't know, man. I remember seeing somebody on Reddit post, this is my absolute favorite card ever. And granted, there is some decent stuff. If you got Stardust out there, your Adamantium Infusion is not going to work. Because
Doom 2099 won't work.
Right.
I don't think Sam Wilson would get his shield now. The shield doesn't appear until you play Sam.
That's right. So I've worked with Stardust a little bit, and there wasn't enough for me to go, oh boy, I'm really throwing a wrench into their plans.
I tried a deck with characters, and I may have stolen this from somebody I played against, but characters that make cards you don't want. So play Stardust with Sentry and Rhino, or even Debris, so that you get all that power without any extra baggage. And if you mess them up, so much the better, but Stardust is helping you out.
Yeah, I think I actually had the deck that I put together. It was exactly what you're talking about, but just in case I couldn't get Stardust out there, then I had Strange Supreme in there to kind of absorb some of that stuff and get it off the board. But yeah, I mean, I think Stardust has a spot. It's just I got to figure out where we're at. Then we got Winter Vacation Devil Dinosaur. I got the Pixel Nova, which I told you ended up completing the album, which I love. And then I got Hydra Bob here recently. I was trying to do... Oh my goodness. Like I said, I could not spend tokens. So I got Hydra Bob, and I ended up with Fire Lord. So neither one of those have I got in decks at this point.
Hydra Bob comes in handy at times.
I imagine he'd be great in like a move deck.
With Fantasticar, since he's an end of turn card, he just gets that bonus.
Nice. Well, that's it, man.
Okay, well, so I am at 28,316 collector level with 2,775 tokens, hoping to get another crack at a Series 5 card shortly. I got a Derek Chu Gamora, got a Midnight Suns Blade. I think that was from an event, just to try to fill in some more of that album.
We need a Switchblade variant.
with the lobster claw. From his brutal off-panel absorption of Mr. Krabs. Yeah, check the Unspoken Issues podcast on the source material page.
There you go, baby.
Got a James Ryman Living Tribunal, which looks a lot like the other Living Tribunals, but it's from a lower angle. It looks cool. There's only so much you can do with the Living Tribunal. Mm-hmm. Got that Winter Vacation Magic. Got Ron Lim Elsa Bloodstone.
Oh.
Okay. I also got the Marvel Legends Jubilee and the Watcher Chibi.
Oh.
Got Adamantium Infusion. Got a Invar Studio Wong. So if I want a movie Wong that's not Dan Hip, I've got that option. I gold split my buddy M'Baku.
Nice.
Got a Dan Hip Moon Knight, which is just wonderful. My problem was I didn't have enough cool Moon Knight variants. Mm-hmm. This is great. It's like Moon Knight with his various personalities perched on his shoulder.
Icing on the cake.
Got a Pixel Iron Fist. Then I tried for some Weapon X cards and instead got Man Spider. No complaints there.
Ooh, that's a good card.
Got Wade Wilson.
Okay.
Some complaints there.
See earlier.
Yeah. Got a Michael Ivan Scorpion, a Creative House Pocket Jeff. Tried again for some Weapon X goodness. Got Ezekiel Sims. I don't think I've used him much, just because it hasn't been, not because I have a problem with the card. He's certainly more useful than Wade. Just haven't had a lot of occasion to use him yet.
Yeah, he's kind of a tough, card to find a spot for.
Yeah. I'm sure the next time there's a Spider-Man themed season and we get some more move cards, he'll pop up. See a Lucio Parillo Jean Grey, which is in her Dark Phoenix costume. A Moon Colony Emperor Hulkling. Arrow by Volmy. Sounds like a fragrance or something. Arrow by Volmy. Dan Hip Mysterio.
Okay.
Then I got Wild Child. Then I got, which Lockjaw is this? It's a pretty daggone cool Lockjaw. I actually dislodged it's Michael Ivan Lockjaw. Actually, last time I used Lockjaw, I used it instead of the Venomized Lockjaw. You know how Lockjaw is cute and goofy and funny? This Lockjaw is going to end you. I'm sending it to you now. Try not to be too frightened.
All right, let me look at this thing.
I would not want that Lockjaw materializing and coming at me in a dark alley.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's scary.
This Lockjaw firmly believes you have hurt someone he cares about, and you should run.
Wow.
Then I got, in the same pack, I got Weapon H and Zombie Power Man.
Nice.
Zombie Power Man was my bonus in a seasonal Series 5 pack, and I put him to work in a discard deck. Although sometimes he's a little too ravenous for my tastes. Fastball Special, got a Dan Hip Quicksilver, a Peach Momoko Ms. Marvel, Dan Hip Psylocke, David Nakayama Lady Deathstrike, pretty much classic Lady Deathstrike. I like it. Sergio Davila Craven, which looks kind of painted and on the Savannah. A Sweeney Boo Beast.
Sweeney Boo.
A Noir Howard the Duck. Chibi Deathlock. Venomized Omega Red. Studio Cassandra Nova. Already commented on that more than I should have, probably. Made it weird. Then I got Aurora. My regular Series 5 freebie was Malekith.
Okay.
Who I still haven't used.
I mean, he can be a useful card.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's bad. I just haven't found a spot for him.
Right.
I've had a deck or two with Cersei. She's a lot more fun than I thought, especially now that I've got one that actually looks like classic Cersei. And that's not a knock on Gemma Chan. I understand she looks like movie Gemma Chan, but the base Cersei card looks like Mantis. It doesn't look like Cersei to me.
Right.
Here's the one you're going to be jealous of. The card itself, it's a cool card, and this character has lots of cool variants, but just the character and the artist you're going to be jealous of.
All right.
Cable by Dale Keown.
Oh my goodness. You have to send it to me.
Yeah, I probably should have done that before I said it, or should have had it ready, but I was like, yeah, who's this Cable? And it's just from a cover, I think.
Keown's got a couple. Keown's got a couple cards, if I remember correctly.
That's the first one that I remember. I mean, Cable has a bunch of good variants. It's a fairly recent cover from the last 10 years. It's not from the 90s.
That's awesome.
I got Marrow, cool. And I think I rounded off the season with a Symbiote Spider-Man by Dan Hip, which would probably be my go-to if I didn't have that sweet Secret Wars cover.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that cover's awesome.
So, and that is it.
Wow. Well, we did it. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is our discussion on the meta and unlocks. Evan Bevins, let's get into plugs here, buddy. What do you got to plug? What's going on over there at Asterisk 51?
Well, not much right now. I'm resting and gearing up, trying to get some stuff in the tank, but I will be back soon with some Dollar Tree Cinemas, a little-known superhero movie that was better than I expected. I won't say it was good, but it was a lot better than I expected, and some other fun stuff be coming up there soon. I did right before the end of 2025 because I had jokingly said I'd probably get around to it by 2025. I got Ravage 2099 number 6 in there. Only one more Stan Lee scripted issue left to go. And this one had a cameo by the Fantasticar.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. But yeah, asterisk51.blogspot.com. You can find literally hundreds of posts about comics and movies and all kinds of weirdness. I hope to do a little more with a series I came up with called Missing Links, where I find gaps in my collection, fill them in, and then read them however many years later for the first time. I'll have some Dollar Tree Cinema, Dollar Tree Comics. I need to get on that too. I'll be back with some Free Comic Friday stuff, and who knows, all sorts of fun stuff over there. While you're waiting for the new stuff, you can check out my exploration of Capwolf, The Secret Defenders, Amalgam, and Stan Lee creating the DC Universe, just to name a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are most likely checking out the Source Material Comics feed if you're listening to this podcast, and we appreciate that. Other shows on here, aside from us talking Marvel Snap, is the Unspoken Issues podcast, as Evan mentioned earlier, where we talk 90s comics all the time. Recently, we dropped our discussion on Darkness Batman over on the Source Material Comics podcast, where we talk comic books of any era. Me and Mark dropped a discussion on Superman and the Authority.
Oh, I've been wanting to read that one.
It's decent.
Grant Morrison, right?
Yep, decent. It's a decent book. You got an older Superman trying to figure out what are the few things that he wants to do before things really wind down for him. And
does he have some of that Smallville accent slipping back in as he demands people respect his authority? I don't even like that show, but the joke was there. So
at some point, I think Dean and Derry are going to come back, and we're going to do unspoken issues on G.I. Joe. It happened in '91, and it was one of the first more realistic G.I. Joe stories because at that point in '91, a lot of people are thinking about the Gulf War. Larry Hama decides, you know what? 7 Joes are going to die this issue. Quick Kick dies. Quick Kick. Breaker. A few other ones bite the Doc. Doc bites the dust.
I'm thinking back to NFL Super Pro number 2 and the Assassin Quick Kick.
No, never mind. Okay. Not well versed enough.
My favorite G.I. Joe is William the Refrigerator Perry.
Okay, all right. Mine would be Sergeant Slaughter, I guess. We're getting out of here. That over there is Evan Bevins. I am Jesse Starcher. Thank you so much for joining us.